Okay, once again, good afternoon to good morning to one and all. Today we will start our session now. So in last class, we are seeing regarding the bistable multivibrators. Okay, we are discussing the bistable multivibrators. Okay, it is a very important concept. Okay, if you understand the bistable multivibrator, then remaining the next chapter, that is fourth chapter, is also very easy chapter. Okay, and most probably this chapter deals with problems. Okay, designing aspects. Okay, we are going to design a multivibrator. Yeah, for designing means let it be. This is your multivibrator, bistable multivibrator. The designing aspects means we are going to designing all these resistance. Okay, RC, R1, R2 values. Okay, currents. Designing means simply we are going to finding out these values, resistance values. Analysis. Okay, we have two types, two models problems. Analysis. Okay, analysis means we are going to finding out these resistance, current values. Okay, current voltages, all these things we are going to finding out. Okay, most probably very simple. Okay, simple KVL and KCL. Simple, if you know the Kirchhoff laws, simply you can find out these currents and voltages. Okay, it will be very easy. Okay, little bit concentration. We require a little bit concentration. If we are a little bit concentrate, then these concepts will be very easy. Okay. Therefore, coming to the bistable multivibrator, as we discussed, okay, bistable multivibrator consisting of two stable states. Okay, it will consisting of two stable states. That means output, you will take the output. Output may be in either of the stable state. That is considered a binary bistable multivibrator. Binary means you may have the ones and zeros. Okay, therefore output may be at one level or at zero level continuously. Okay, until we apply a triggering pulse, the state will be maintained constant. Until we apply a triggering pulse, the state will be maintained constant. Therefore, bistable multivibrator is going to consisting of two stable states. Okay, and there are two types of bistable multivibrators. Okay, especially there are two types. That is a collector coupled bistable multivibrator and emitter coupled bistable multivibrator. Okay, there are two types: collector couple and emitter couple. Okay, emitter couple bistable multivibrator, I think was Smith trigger. Okay, it was last concept. Smith trigger. Smith trigger you are going to call as a emitter couple. Okay, and coming to the couple, first we will discuss the collector couple bistable multivibrator. Okay, in collector coupled bistable multivibrator, we have again two types. That is fixed bias and self bias. Okay, as the title itself. Okay, title itself it is saying that fixed bias and self bias. Okay, already you know the biasing techniques for a transistor. Okay, in EDC you have seen self bias, voltage bias, fixed bias. We have seen the different concepts for why we are making the biasing for a transistor means in order to operate any one region. Generally, this transistor will be going to operate in active region or cutoff region or in saturation region. Okay, in order to operate any one region, we have to give the biasing. Okay, we are making the biasing the transistor. We are biasing the transistor and make the transistor to operate any of our required regions. Okay. Therefore, depending on the biasing technique we implemented, these collector couple, is further classified into a fixed bias and self bias. That means if we are using a fixed bias means the voltage value will be fixed. The biasing voltage will be fixed. Okay, VBB voltage. Okay, VBB voltage will be fixed. Okay, it can't be changed. Okay, therefore that comes under the fixed bias. Okay, a self bias it has titled itself self. That means the required biasing voltage will be developed by circuit itself. Okay, we are going to placing the RE resistance. Once if you recall the biasing concept, there you may have the RE resistance for a transistor for a emitter. We are going to placing a resistance and current flowing through this resistance that creates the drop. That is nothing but the I into R. Okay, or the IE into RE. This voltage is used for biasing this transistor. This voltage is used for biasing the transistor. Okay, therefore the biasing voltage is developed by circuit itself. Okay, we are not providing any extra voltage source as in the fixed bias. This is the major difference between a fixed bias and self bias systems. Okay, fixed bias system means we are providing a fixed voltage for the transistor to operate. Okay, to operate in any one region. Okay, that may be active region depending upon the voltage levels we are applying. Okay, depending on the voltage, if we apply a negative voltage, the transistor may be in cutoff. So if we apply a small amount of voltage, it may be in active region. If we apply a saturated voltage, then it may be in saturation region. Okay, depending on the voltage values, the transistor may operate in any one region. Okay, therefore, in fixed bias system, we are going to apply a fixed voltage. Okay, by using some battery source, we are going to apply the voltage. We are coming to self bias system means we are not applying any voltage. Circuit itself is going to developing the biasing voltage. Okay, by some special techniques. Okay, by placing some resistance in some way, the voltage drop we are going to use it as the voltage drop across the resistance is going to use it as a biasing voltage. Okay, that we will see in detail while discussing those circuits. Okay, the empty couple is nothing but a split trigger. In empty couple, generally we may go for all the circuits, not only bistable multivibrator, whether it may be a stable or monostable multivibrators. Mostly we will go for a fixed self-biased circuits. Okay, we will see the self-biased circuits. Okay, and then simply by changing the self-biased concept to a fixed bias, we can also go for the a fixed bias circuit also. But mostly we are going to study the self-bias. Okay, only the change instead of the biasing resistance, we may apply the fixed voltage there. We are going to apply a fixed voltage. Okay, once if you see the bistable both the circuit diagrams, then you will get the idea. Okay, therefore this is regarding your bistable multimeter, different types of bistable. Basically, there are two types. Okay, connector couple and intercouple. Connector couple and intercouple. Again, connector couple is further classified into self-biased and fixed bias. Okay, self-biased and fixed bias depending upon the biasing techniques. Okay, this is regarding one. Now we will see the first topic, that is fixed bias. Okay, first we will see the fixed bias as bistable multivibrator. So somewhere I am getting noise. Okay, fine. A fixed bias. This is the circuit diagram. Okay, this is your circuit diagram of a fixed bias bistable multivibrator. Okay, listen carefully. If we understand the how this transistor is operating, okay, once if we understand the operation, then it will be very easy in problems. Okay, problems it will be very easy. The circuit which which you are seeing on the screen, it is a fixed biased bistable multivibrator. Here we are using the two transistors, okay, Q1 and Q2. Okay, Q1 and Q2, two transistors we are using, and these two transistors connected such as that the output of one transistor is connected to the input of another transistor. Okay, actually from here we are going to take the output. This is output of Q2 transistor. Okay, this is output of Q2 transistor. From the output, it is connected to the input of the another transistor. Similarly, this is the output of your first transistor. Okay, and the output is connected to the input of your second transistor. Okay, this type of configuration we are going. Generally, these multivibrators are nothing but a regenerative feedback amplifiers. Okay, multivibrators you may get in competitive online bits. Okay, multivibrators are also called as a regenerative feedback amplifiers. Okay, that means this is also an amplifier. Okay, this is also an amplifier where we are using the regenerative feedback. Okay, regenerative feedback means a part of the output. Generally, two types of feedback you have. Okay, mostly you see in the control systems, negative feedback. Okay, you come across the negative feedback. Okay, or that may be called as a degenerative. Okay, degenerative feedback. Okay, a negative feedback and degenerative feedback. The difference is nothing but a regenerative means a portion of the output signal is directly connected to the input. That means there won't be any phase difference. Okay, negative feedback means it will be reversal. Okay, there will be a phase difference. Okay, the output is connected to the input by reversing. That's why mostly in our control systems, in feedback, okay, when you are connecting the feedback, you may find the minus sign here. Okay, this may be your input and this may be your feedback loop. okay, and you may find the gain here, okay, and your output is connected like this, okay. Mostly you are going to see the negative sign here, okay. If we observe, this may be a negative sign, this may be a plus sign. That means your feedback is a negative feedback, okay. You are going to applying the output is connected to the input by changing its phase, okay. Therefore it is a negative feedback. It's mostly you will see in your control systems, okay. Here we are not changing that one, therefore this is nothing but regenerative feedback, okay. Directly output is connected to the input. We are not making any sign changes or any phase shifts. Therefore this type of feedback we are going to call as a regenerative feedback, okay. It is nothing but a regenerative feedback. Therefore we are calling it as a regenerative amplifier, okay. Regenerative feedback amplifier, okay. That's why we are going. Therefore another name you may find the word has a regenerative feedback. Regenerative feedback means that is the reason. Regenerative means that is nothing but the output is fed back to the input without any phase difference, okay. Without any phase difference, the output, a portion of the output is fed back as an input, okay. Therefore coming to the operation or working operation, generally these transistors, okay, these transistors, if one transistor is in on position, another transistor will be in off position, okay. That means on position means if it is in saturation, on means that is nothing but a saturation mode, okay. Off means it is nothing but a cutoff, okay, cutoff zone, okay. That means these transistors, okay, in multivibrators, the transistors both will be operated in active region, saturation region or in cutoff regions, okay. We won't have the active region, but while it is state changing, that means if it is on, okay, the output voltage here will be, it may be something, okay, the output voltage, let it be let it be at zero level, yeah. Once it is on, the output voltage is zero level. When you apply the triggering pulse, it changes its state from 0 to 1. That means while it is going from on to off state, it may goes into active region. In between, it may goes to the active region, because it has we seen in clear switching characteristics also. Okay, when the transistor acting as a switch, the transistor has to move from cutoff zone to saturation region. Means in between we may have the active region. Transistor has to pass through the active region. Okay, therefore that region that time we are going to call as a quiescent time. Okay, quiescent time. You have to remember. Okay, at that time the transistor may be in active zone. Okay, the transistor may be in active mode. Okay, active region. But when we are talking regarding the stable states, stable means this is a stable state and this is a stable state. Okay, this state changing. Okay, while state changing, it is not a stable. Okay, it is changing. Okay, at this period, the transistor may be in active zone. Okay, active region. Okay, the transistor may be in active region. But when you are talking regarding the stable regions, the transistor will be in cutoff zone or in active or in saturation regions. Okay, it won't be in active region. Okay, therefore, while we are discussing the stable states, we won't come across the active region. Okay, therefore, generally the bistable multivibrator may operate in active region, saturation region, and active cutoff regions. But under the stable state, it may be placed only in cutoff zone or saturation zones. Okay, we won't have the active zones. Okay, therefore let us be the one transistor will be on state, and if the one transistor will be off state, that means this is on state means that is nothing but it is in saturation mode, and it is nothing but a off state means it is in the cutoff zone. As it is in cutoff, okay, if we take the Q2, it is in cutoff means it is an open switch. Therefore, there won't be any current flowing here. There won't be any current flowing in this branch because it is open. Okay, if I am speaking ideal cases. Therefore, the current will be zero. Therefore, drop across here also zero. Therefore, the output voltage will be at VCC. Okay, if the minimum current is flowing in this direction. Okay, if I consider that the drop through this R1 is also less, means the output at here will be VCC. Okay, that means the output will be maintained at stable state at 1. Okay, output is going to maintain at stable state 1, and coming, this is the on state, therefore it is a short circuited. Once it is short circuited, high amount of current is flowing in through this path. Okay, therefore there will be a more drop in across this RC. There will be a more drop across this RC. has the voltage at this point. Voltage at this point is nothing but a VCC minus I1 into RC. I1 into RC. Okay, this is your output voltage. Okay, that voltage you are going to see here. Okay, here also VCC minus I2 into RC. As this is an open circuit, I2 value is 0. Yeah, I2 is nothing but a, if suppose here it may be IA current is flowing, here IB current is flowing. I2 is nothing but IA plus IB. Yeah, I2 is nothing but IA plus IB. IB value is 0, and if IA value is very small, if you neglect, then I2 also can be approximately maybe 0. Okay, when the transistor is off. Okay, when transistor is off, I2 is also approximately 0. Okay, as it is approximately 0, the drop across this one is also 0, therefore output voltage will be VCC. Here the maximum current is flowing. This is an on transistor, therefore maximum current is flowing. Therefore this drop will be very large. Okay, since it is in saturation. Okay, it is a saturation. Ideally we may take it as a short circuit. Practically the voltage across the saturation VCE sat. This is a collector. This is emitter. Therefore the standard VCE voltage. Okay, standard VCE voltage is nothing but a 0.3. Okay, 0.3 is the VCE sat. Okay, it can be a sat. Okay, you may find the SAT sat here. Okay, therefore V sat here the voltage will be practical. If you take in practical case, it may be the voltage of 0.3. Okay, if you take in ideal 0 volts, okay, ideally 0 volts. Therefore, the maximum current will flow to this point and drop will be more, and the output voltage will be 0 here. Then the output voltage and this will be which is a stable, okay, and it will maintain at 0 level. It is going to maintain at 0 level, and it is maintaining at a 1 level. Okay, that is it is maintaining at VCC. We can consider the VCC has 1. Okay, and it is maintaining the 0 level. Okay, it is maintaining at the 0 level. So, okay, now we want to change the state. If we want to change the state, we have to apply the triggering pulse for the bistable multivibrator. Okay, as we know that, okay, how a transistor moves from on state to the off state or off state to on state. Okay, the triggering pulse where we have to apply means to the base. Okay, to the base of the circuit we have to apply the triggering pulse. Okay, and one more point here you have to remember, since it is a fixed bias, we are applying a fixed biasing voltage. Minus VBB is nothing but a biasing voltage. Okay, this voltage you won't see in your self-biased circuit. Okay, in self-biased circuit, here you won't have this voltage. VBB voltage you won't find. Okay, this is since it is a fixed bias, the biasing voltage we are applying here. Okay, the biasing voltage VBB is nothing but a biasing. Depending on this voltage, the current will be flows to the base circuit. Current will be flows to the base circuit. That will be comes here. Okay, and this is a node. Okay, and one more current from this branch also going to get here. Okay, it may be I1 and I2. These two currents, some of these two currents will be flows to the base. Okay, from this side, if suppose I1 current is flowing, and from this one some I2 current is flowing, both will be added and goes to the base. If this current is sufficient to make this transistor to be in off state or on state. Okay, depending on this biasing current, the transistor will be in on state or off state. Okay, the transistor will be on state or off state. Now our target is now we have to change our state. Okay, we have to change our state of the transistor. For changing the state of the transistor, we have to apply a triggering pulse. That means we have to apply external pulse to the base of the transistors. That means in this circuit we have not shown the triggering circuit, but practically if you go here, there may be a triggering circuit here. Okay, you may place the triggering circuit here. Okay, because the triggering pulse has to be given to the base. Okay, therefore there will be a triggering pulse here. Okay, when you apply this triggering pulse, it may change any one of the transistors. No need to give for the both the transistors. Okay, we will see what happens when you give the triggering pulse to the any one of the transistor. When you apply the triggering pulse, suppose this is in we have considered this will be a on state. Okay, therefore if it is on means in saturation. Okay, and it is in off state. Okay, in order to move to on state, means we have to apply a positive voltage here. Okay, that means when you apply a base signal, when you apply a positive base signal, then automatically transistor moves from the off state to the on state. Okay, that means when the current is flowing through this base, the transistor moves from the on to the off. Okay, suppose if I want to the apply the basic at the base of the Q1. Okay, since the Q1 is in on state, Q1 is on state means there is a current flowing through this base. Okay, that's why it is an on state. Now we have to make this current zero. Okay, a positive current is flowing in this direction. In order to make this current zero, we have to apply a negative pulse here. We have to apply a negative pulse. Okay, this type pulse, because this transistor is on state. Okay, when you apply the negative pulse, the positive and negative will be cancelled and the current flowing here will be zero. Okay, therefore when the current is zero in this branch, the transistor goes to the off state. Okay, in order to make this one off, we have to apply a negative pulse. In order to make this on, we have to apply a positive pulse, because when you apply a positive pulse, then the transistor moves from on to off to on. Okay, therefore any on. Okay, simply we may say that we have to apply a triggering pulse. Okay, for our knowledge, we have understand that positive pulse and negative pulse. Okay, for only for our knowledge only. Okay. Therefore, simply by applying the gate pulse to any one of the transistor, then the transistor will be changes its state. Okay. Now, what happens? We will see. Okay, what happens if we apply a triggering pulse to one of the transistor? How it is going to affecting the state of the another transistor? We will see. Okay, if we observe this circuit, this circuit is a symmetrical. If we observe this circuit, okay, yeah, from right side and left side, if we observe, here we may have RC resistance, here also we have RC resistance, here also R1, and this is also R1. Okay, when it is, this is also R2, and this is also R2. Therefore, the circuit is symmetrical on both sides. That means if we have a voltage, okay, it is like this. Okay, you have a two resistance of equal values, and if we have a voltage source, okay, if we have a voltage source of VCC, yeah, voltage is nothing but a VCC. Then the current flowing in the two resistance will be equal, because the both are symmetrical. Okay, therefore coming to the starting point. Okay, I have explained from the starting. Then you got a knowledge that how the circuit is operating. Simply the transistor will be any one state, so that it may be at 0 level or it may be at 1 level. When you give the triggering pulse, simply it changes its state. Okay, simply it changes its states and it will be continued. Once again, when you apply the triggering pulse, again it changes its states and it continues. So that output will be like a square wave. Okay, you can take any side. Okay, you can take the output as this side or this side. Okay, you can take any side. Okay, if you take this side, initially the pulse will be 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, like that. If you start from this side, it may be a 0, initially 0, and then it may goes to the 1, and again 0. Like this you may get. Okay, simply you may get 180 degrees phase displacement. Okay, if you take the output at Q2, if you take the output at Q2, and if you take the output at Q1, these two are 180 degrees phase displacement. Okay, simple displacement you are going to get. Okay, we can take the output on any side. Okay, whether on Q1 side or Q2 side. Okay, depending on your applications. Or you can connect two loads, two different loads. Okay, this side you can connect one load, and this side you can connect another load. Okay, the whole this circuit can drive the two loads. Okay, at a time it can operate the two different loads. Okay, now if we observe this circuit, okay, initially, okay, that means we have seen how is circuit operating, but before this circuit there is a lot of explanation. Okay, that is nothing but if we observe this circuit, it is a symmetrical, therefore the same current is flowing in the both directions. Okay, because it is a symmetrical circuit. Okay, once the same current is flowing, here drop will be same. Okay, the drop across this both branches will be same, and the voltage here will be same. Okay, VC1 and VC2 voltages will be same. When VC1 and VC2 voltages are same, the same current flows here. Okay, same current will be flows here, and the VBB also both resistance are same. Therefore, same current will become here, and the both transistors will be. Okay, initially the both transistors will be in active region. That means if this current is sufficient, I think so. I am considering that this current is sufficient and make this transistor both will be active region, or both will be in cutoff regions, or both will be in saturation. Both transistors. But how we had explained previously, we had considered that one transistor is in on state and one transistor is off state. But initially, when you apply these voltages, these both transistors initially both transistors will be in same state. Okay, it may be in active state or cutoff state or in saturation state. Okay. Generally some current is flowing, that's why this current may not be sufficient to make this transistor into saturation, and it is more about to make the transistor into from the cutoff. Okay, therefore generally our discussion starts from both transistors will be in active region. Okay, both the transistors are in active regions. Okay, when both transistors are in active region, but in order to operate as a bistable multivibrator, the transistor should be in on state or off state. We are using only cutoff or saturation. We won't use the active states. Okay. Therefore, at this state, okay, this state is nothing but we are going to call it a quiescent state. Okay. That means actually our bistable multivibrator is not present in the stable states. Okay. This state we are not going to use. Okay. And how these transistors are coming to the a stable state. Okay, stable state means it has to satisfy some conditions. Okay, when those conditions are satisfied, then this transistor will be moved to the stable state. That means actually it is working in the bistable multivibrator. Okay, at this position, that means both are in active state. Let us assume that if there is a small disturbance, okay, let us assume that there is a small disturbance for the current I1. Okay, current I1. Okay, why this disturbance? Okay, for that one also we have to justify. Okay, simply we can't say that there is a disturbance. Okay, because of these two transistors. Okay, due to the temperature change, we can consider it as a temperature change. Okay, due to temperature change, the characteristics is going to be changed. The characteristics of the two transistors is going to be changed, and on any cost, okay, two transistors won't be exhibit same characteristics. Okay, in the market, if you bring the same transistors, okay, same, let it be some 242 transistor, BC242 or something transistor. If you bring same manufacturer and same transistor number, that both transistors won't exhibit same characteristics. Okay, there will be a little bit change. Okay, definitely because of the doping levels or other factors, both transistors won't exhibit the same characteristics. Okay, it is a universal truth. Okay, two persons can't be same. Okay, the same way the two transistors won't be in the exhibit the same characteristics. Therefore, due to the temperature change, the circuit is operating. We are operating in our lab. Okay, when you switch on, when you apply the VCC, both transistors are start set in active zone. Okay, both transistors are in active region. But in order to act as a bistable multivibrator, it should not operate both in active. Okay, one should be on and one should be off. Okay, therefore, without any applying any external circuit or external factors, external pulses, automatically it will bring to the on and off state. How it is going to bring on and off means due to some external parameters like temperature. Okay, or when current is flowing. Okay, current is flowing, definitely there will be a temperature change in the junctions. Okay, due to the small disturbance, let it be there is a small change in this current I1. Okay, let it be this current has been increased. Okay, this I1 has the I1 current is increasing, the drop across this RC will be increased. As the drop increases, the voltage at this point, okay, gets decreased, because the voltage at this point is nothing but a VCC minus I1 into RC. As I1 increases, the drop gets increased. This drop gets increasing. Therefore, as the drop increases, the voltage at this point decreases. As the voltage decreases, the current to this one, okay, the current in this branch get decreases. That means IB2 current decreases. As the base current decreases, the transistor previously it is in active region. Previously, if you draw the characteristics, and if you draw the operating line, somewhere in the active region we are operating at this point. Okay, and at this point we have a certain base current. Okay, IB current will be, we have certain base current. Now this, as the base current reduces, this point moves downwards. Okay, somewhere we may operate it at this point. Okay, we may operate it at this point, and it may goes near to the cutoff. Okay, near to the cutoff. As it is moving near to cutoff, this current gets decreased. Okay, this IC2 current gets decreased. As this current decreases, the drop across this resistance get decreased. Okay, as the drop across this RC decreases, the voltage at this point gets increased. As this voltage increases, current in this branch get increases, and this transistor also operating in active region. Okay, this transistor is also operating in active region. As the base current is increasing, okay, as the base current is increasing, the point moves towards the saturation. Okay, the point moves towards the saturation. Therefore, after few cycles, this transistor will become to the cutoff. After few cycles, this point may move to the cutoff, and this transistor may move to the saturation. Therefore, automatically, okay, due to the circuit seems to be a symmetrical, but automatically after few cycles, the transistor will be come back to the on state and off state. That means the transistor is going to operating at stable state. Okay. In order to do this process, in order to perform all these actions, that means that has this current due to disturbance, the current decreases, has this current decreases, the base current decreases, and transistor is moving. To do all this process, the circuit has to satisfy the three conditions. Okay, when these three conditions is satisfied, then only it is going to perform what we had talked previous. All this action is going to be done. Okay, that means initially it may start at active zone, and due to disturbance, this current decreases. We can consider this current also. Okay, any one current. Okay, whether I1 or I2. Okay, there will be previously it will be at 2 amperes and it will be at 2 also at 2 amperes. Due to disturbance, there will be change. Both may not be at 2 amperes. Okay, one will be at 1.9, one will be at 2.1. Okay, therefore there will be a small change in this current. Due to this change, the voltage gets changed. Okay, it may be on this side or it may be happen on this side. Okay, it may be happen on any side. Okay, for example, I have considered this side. Okay, for explanation point of view, I have taken the I1. Okay, you can take any current. Okay, it may be happen on I1 side or I2 side. Okay, okay. In order to happen all this one, our circuit first it has to satisfy the Kirchhoff laws. Okay, it has to satisfy the Kirchhoff laws. Okay, that means why? Because it has to satisfy means has the current increase, the drop I into R has to be increased. All this belonging to the Kirchhoff laws. Okay, therefore the circuit has to satisfy the Kirchhoff laws. Under the circuit, okay, the current voltage in the circuit consisting with the transistor characteristics. Okay, the current and the voltages in the circuit has to obey the transistor characteristics. Okay, that means the transistor characteristics what we have discussed in your EDC, all this has to be satisfied. Okay, when the current increases, the operating point has to move on this line only. That means this transistor has to obey this voltage current relation. Okay, this voltage current relation. Okay, obviously it will satisfy these characteristics. Okay, this transistor will satisfy this voltage current relation, and this transistor also. And very more important concept, very third point. Okay, third point, the loop gain. Okay, you may get in your online bits also. Loop gain. Okay, the loop gain, that means the regenerative feedback loop gain. Okay, that means this is a loop. Okay, here we are having the VCC and RC, and this is nothing but a one loop. Okay, and this loop gain. Okay, that means a gain which we have seen in the first chapter. Okay, gain is nothing but a Laplace transform, or simply we can take the output by input. Okay, Laplace transform of output or input, or simply we can take the ratio of the output by input. Okay, this gain value. Okay, this gain value should be greater than 1 or should be very large than 1 when it is making the state changing. Okay, that means it is in on state. Okay, it is in on state. From on state to off state. Okay, if it is moving, okay, from on state to off state, the gain value should be greater than 1. Okay, that means while it is in transition state, that means in quiescent position. Okay, and when it is in stable state, okay, when it is in stable state, the loop gain should be less than 1. Okay, loop gain should be less than 1. The loop gain should be greater than 1 and less than. I have set the 2 points. Okay, I have said the 2 times. The loop gain should be greater than 1 and loop gain should be less than 1. When it should be greater than 1, when it should be less than 1. You should be very careful. Okay, while you are studying in the textbook, you may get confused. Okay, what I am saying, the third point means we are getting like this output. Okay, you are getting the output like this. Okay, this is we are going to call it as a stable state. Okay, this is going to call it as a stable state. and this position, okay, while it is the state changing position, okay. That means in this time interval, suppose previously it may be in on, it is at zero means the output voltage should be at zero. That means it is in on state, okay. It is on state and it may be in off state, okay. So it is on state means we are getting a stable value as zero, okay. Stable value we are getting as zero output, okay. When you apply a triggering pulse, from zero it may move to the another stable state one, okay. From zero it may move to the another stable state, okay. That means while it is moving, okay, this time period we are going to call it the quiescent time period, okay. In this time period, loop gain should be greater than 1. The circuit has to exist. That means we have to choose these values, okay. We have to choose the RC, R1, okay. We will come all these concepts in next classes, okay. We have to choose the RC, R1 values such that the voltage output by input, okay. This is the output voltage, and the voltage, if you find the voltage here, you may get the input voltage. The ratio of output voltage by input voltage, this may be your loop gain, okay. This loop gain should be greater than 1 when it is in the state changing. That means when the transistor is in active region, okay. That means from the saturation, okay, if you draw the characteristics, okay, we are operating at the saturation point and we are making the transistor to move to the cutoff zone. It is moving from here to this point, okay, through the active region, okay, through the active region. When the transistor is operating in this region, the loop gain should be greater than 1. Okay, when the transistor is operating at here or here, okay, that means in saturation zone or cutoff zone, we are going to call it as a stable state, okay. At this point, the loop gain should be very less, okay. Loop gain should be less than unity, okay. I think so we are clear with this point, okay. We have to choose these values. We have to choose these R values such that it has to satisfy this condition. Then only the transistor will give the stable outputs. Okay, it will give the stable outputs. Okay, until we are applying the triggering pulse, the transistor will be at stable position. That means it will be in cutoff or in a saturation zone. Okay, if these conditions are not satisfied, the transistor may be in active region. If it is in active region, the output may not be ones and zeros, because in amplification in active region, the transistor is going to act as an amplifier. Therefore, it will amplify the input signal. You won't get a constant value. Okay, you will get the amplified version of the input. Okay, therefore we are getting some amplified version. Okay, we won't get a constant voltage. Therefore, transistors should not operate in active regions. Okay, in order to get these stable states. Okay. Stable, while we are discussing the stable state, the transistor should be in on state or off state. Then only we are going to get the this one. Okay. In order to get this one, in order to get these stable values, it has to satisfy these three conditions. Okay. And among these three conditions, third condition is very important. Okay. The bistable multivibrator loop gain under stable state will be less than 1. Okay, you may get in the online bit. Okay, in online you may get this bit. Okay, they may ask, you have to see the question very carefully. What is the loop gain of a bistable multivibrator under stable state? Okay, under stable state, the loop gain should be less than 1. Okay, otherwise they may ask the question like this: what is the loop gain of a bistable multivibrator under quiescent state? Okay, quiescent state means the state changing. Okay, that means at this position. Okay, under quiescent position or quiescent state. Okay, quiescent state, that the loop gain should be greater than 1. Okay, greater than 1. Okay, therefore you should be, while you are studying the textbook, you should be careful that if you are saying that the loop gain is greater than 1 means your multivibrator is not operating under stable state. Okay, it is in the quiescent position. That means it is in the mode state changing. Okay, state changing mode. It is operating in the state changing mode. Okay, therefore it is not in a stable state. Okay, when these three conditions is satisfied, okay, which we have discussed, Kirchhoff laws and voltage current characteristics of the transistors and the loop gains. Okay, and loop gains are regenerative loop gains. Simply we call it as a regenerative loop gain. Okay, when it satisfies all these conditions, then this circuit, okay, this circuit will exhibit a stable output, okay, stable output until we are going to applying the triggering pulse, okay. Here we have a separate topic, okay, how to apply the triggering pulse, okay, we will come across there, okay. Now simply I have said that a positive pulse or negative pulse, okay. I think the third topic or fourth topic you may come across the triggering circuits, okay, symmetrical triggering circuits or unsymmetrical triggering circuits. There you will get a more knowledge regarding these triggering circuits, okay. Therefore today class what I have explained, briefly I am saying, okay, today's class what I have said means a bistable multivibrator consisting of a two transistors Q1 and Q2, and these two transistors will be operated either in on state or off state. When in order to change the state, in order to change the state of these transistors, we have to apply the triggering pulse to the base circuit, triggering pulse to the base circuits. Okay, and for every point we have seen the justification. Okay, how we are going to applying the triggering pulse. Okay, why the transistor will be in on state and off state, why not be both will be in same state, okay, that means both will be cut off or active or in saturation, okay, why it is not placing in those positions, that we have seen, okay. For that justification we had seen that this two the circuit is symmetrical on both sides, therefore a same amount of current is flowing, okay. As the current is flowing, okay, as the current is flowing, definitely the transistor will be in active region, okay. If the current is more value, then it will be in saturation because both are operating. Therefore, most probably that the circuit may start from active region. Okay, the same explanation. Okay, it will suit if the circuit starts at cutoff region, or it may be in saturation. If the both transistors are operating at the same region, initially when you apply the VCC voltage, both transistors will be operating in the same region. At that position, if we get a small disturbance, if we get a small, that means if there is a small change in temperature also, will make the transient circuit to act as a bistable multivibrator. Okay, if that means at the time of starting, it is not a bistable multivibrator. Okay, at the time of starting, it is not a bistable multivibrator. Both will the circuit is in the Q-set state. Okay, Q-set state means we are not getting a stable output. We are not getting a stable output at the output terminal. Okay. Therefore, both will be started somewhere. Okay, both will be started at any one region. Okay, and also since it is symmetrical. Okay, why I am saying that it is a symmetrical? If you observe the circuit, it is a symmetrical. Okay, therefore both transistors will be started somewhere. Okay, it may be active or saturation or cutoff. And when you get a small disturbance, due to the disturbance, either I1 are changed or I2 will be changed. Okay, any one will be changed. Okay, or both will be changed. Okay, but both current won't be in equal. Okay, both current will not be in equal. One will be large and one will be small. Okay, and correspondingly there will be changes in the circuit. Okay, correspondingly there will be changes in the circuit and make the transistor to move to a stable state. Make the transistor to move to the stable state. Okay, when this process will be happen only if this circuit obeys the three conditions. When it obeys the three conditions, the three conditions, first two are simple. Okay, Kirchhoff laws has to be obeyed, and second one is the voltage characteristics of the transistor has to be obeyed. And third one is the very important one. Third one is nothing but regarding the loop gain. The circuit has to exhibit the loop gain greater than 1 in Q-set condition, and it has to exhibit less than 1 in stable states. Okay, when the circuit is operating in stable state, then the loop gain should be very less. Okay, when these conditions are satisfied, then automatically that it will pull the transistor to the on state, and one in on state and another in the off state. Okay, and it will maintain in that state constant. Okay, until we apply a triggering pulse. Until we apply a triggering pulse, it will maintain the constant at that position. Okay, I think so you have to understand the bistable multivibrator working principle. This is nothing but a working principle. Okay, there is a lot of drawbacks. Okay, so we have to overcome those drawbacks. Okay, while overcome those drawbacks, we are going to add in some diodes. Okay, we are modifying the circuit. Okay, we will modify the circuit with the diodes, capacitors. Okay, we will see a lot of changes. This is the basic bistable multivibrator circuit. Okay, and how the circuit is going to operate. Okay, how the circuit is going to work. Yeah, all we have seen. Yeah, do you have any doubts? Okay, how the circuit is working? Yeah, and how the output will be. Okay, how we are going to get the output. Okay, the output we may connect on any side. Okay, it may be this side or it may be this side. Okay, but the difference is the both outputs will be 180 degrees phase displacement. Okay, this may be also your online bit. Okay, in online exam you may get this bit also, the phase displacement between the two outputs. Okay, or the multivibrator. Okay, multivibrator it may be 180 degrees. Okay, this is also your online bit. Okay, online you may get this. If you are strong in theory, you can write the online exam very easily. Okay, this is regarding our bistable multivibrator. Yeah, you can ask if you have any doubts. Okay, if you have any doubts, you can ask. You can ask. Otherwise, I will close this session and we will see the drawbacks in this circuit, okay? And how to overcome those drawbacks, how to overcome those drawbacks by adding some small changes, to the circuit, how we are going to overcome those drawbacks, we will see in the next class. Okay, any doubts?